And we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. Well, I have been looking forward to this particular interview all through the series of interviews we've been doing to celebrate The Young and the Restless turning 50 years old. I have grown up with this star. I saw her get a sundae dumped on her head by Tracey Abbott back in the high school days. I remember when Shaun, unfortunate name for a stalker, I think, tried to bury her alive. I called in sick to school that day to see what happened when she was in the coffin. And then who can forget the epic era between Lauren and Sheila? Of course, I'm talking about Tracey Bregman. She joins us now, and I say welcome to you. Does it feel like you're an icon? Do you walk around all day going, "I'm Lauren Fenmore, damn it, icon"?
No, not at all. I'm usually at home mucking stalls.
Are you? Okay.
After horses. Oops, sorry.
That's okay. For those of you who are listening to the radio version of this, Lauren Tracey is sitting in front of Crimson Lights, the iconic coffee shop in Genoa City, just for a visual. But you are iconic, and the show is iconic. And I wonder, what are the ingredients of a great character like Lauren Fenmore, and what are the ingredients of a great show like Y&R that come together to create something that lasts for 5 decades, do you think?
Well, I think you have emotionally rich stories. I think, we're about family, and people have grown up with us, and like you have grown up with us, and we've had just incredible writing and incredible actors, and luckily we've had incredible people watching us as well. So
that's sweet of you,
we appreciate it, and we're here, sitting here on our 50th anniversary because of people like you who watch us. Without you, we would not be here.
The trajectory of Lauren has been interesting because before we had the term Mean Girl, she was one of TV's original Mean Girls, and eventually became less of a villain and more of a sort of, she'll take no crap from anyone, but more of a more centered character. And when you think about the trajectory of that, when did that take place for the character, do you think, for you?
Well, I kind of call her a heroine with an edge. She
Yeah.
went from the mean girl to the heroine with an edge because she's nice, but what Christian and I have always played is, how far would you go to, protect your family? And we've both been dark. We both, had some craziness in our past, and we're not afraid to go back there for the protection of our family. And I'm trying to think when that actually happened. I think it started with when they started to explain why Lauren was the way that she was, and bringing in her mother, Susan Seaforth, Joanna. And I think that's when you started to see the real change in Lauren. Losing Paul was a big one, and then losing Scott, and then her true relationship with Michael. I think that's when you really start to see the solid businesswoman and the true change in her and him.
I think, because we're around the same age, I was in high school, you were playing someone in high school, that what's interesting is this character has done everything I could possibly think of for a character to do. What's left that you feel hasn't been explored yet?
I love the business sense. And I love especially when we were doing Jabot Cosmetics and we were having them on the show as well. I thought that was really cool, and how, they integrated the products, and then I'd be on HSN. That was a lot of fun. I would love a good mystery for our family, for the Baldwin Fishers, because I just love it when we're all together as well. I love that they have not done anything recently to bring Michael and Lauren up, because I think it's really nice to see a strong relationship, and to see us work through our problems in the relationship as well.
What is the biggest misconception about the show?
I can't answer that, I don't think. Daytime for a long time was sort of thought to be maybe that we weren't as good as nighttime, but daytime actually supported nighttime television for years. And you want to talk about great actors who have to learn a tremendous amount of dialogue, and day in and day out, it's here in daytime. I mean, I don't think you'll find better actors than what you're seeing on Young and Restless.
No, I
They're
agree
really
with you.
amazing.
And hardest working as well. You talk about the amount of lines, the number of pages in a script, and banging it out in long 14-hour days very
And
often.
one, maybe two takes,
And one or maybe two
we
takes
work
hitting their
very,
marks.
very fast. We work
Yeah.
very, very fast.
What's been the greatest reward for you being on the show playing Lauren Fenmore?
Well, I think for me personally, the greatest thing that I could say is that I got to do the two things that I have always wanted to do and love the most. And number one was be a mother, and two was be an actress. And I was able to do that at the same time because of Bill Bell, who said, I want you to bring your kids to work with you. And even though I had very short maternity leave, which you could not do now, but I did back then, but I could do it because my kids came to work with me, and it was amazing. It's been an amazing ride.
It seems like it's a very modern situation over there in terms of, for example, Bill Bell telling you he wants you to bring your kids to work. That would have been a while ago, and that would have been more on the leading
32
edge.
years ago.
Yeah,
32 years ago is
very
when he
ahead
said,
of the curve.
yes, I agree. And he was that kind of family man, and he understood what that meant to me, that he knew that if my kids were at work, then my mind was going to be on my work and I was going to feel comfortable. And he was right.
Is it true you auditioned to play Sammy Jo on Dynasty once upon a time?
That is so true. I tested against Heather Locklear, and of course was so excited until I walked into that test and saw her, and I went, oh my God, she's so stunning. And she just looked like a baby Linda Evans at that time.
Oh,
And so great. We ended up being friends from that, and clearly she got the role, but
she got the role.
and she did a great job.
For professionally for you, what haven't you done? I know being on a show like Weiner gets you allows you to stretch and your acting chops. It allows you into situations that so many roles wouldn't. You don't have to repeat the same thing over and over and over again every day like you would do on stage, for example. But what's out there that you'd love to explore?
I've been lucky enough to do a nighttime series and movies and stuff like that. I would actually love to go behind the camera.
Oh, tell me more.
Yeah, I would love to produce and potentially direct, but really produce some good passion projects. That's something that I think, if I would say, are there things that you still want to do? That's what I would want.
Those would be the ones. For the 50th anniversary, Weiner's been knocking it out of the park. I mean, I'm in Toronto. It's just finished airing here, and I was having a hard time pulling myself away to come and do the interview with you.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
It's really knocking the ball out of the park with all this business with Phyllis's fake death and the scenes at the gala, and I felt so much sympathy for each of you because you must have worn those dresses or tuxedos for I don't know
by themselves by the
what's
time
that.
They were all standing by themselves.
They were walking around by themselves, I'm sure. I felt, I mean, because there were some characters that were in the same outfit for, I think it feels like 6 days.
I was in that gold dress for so long, and I was not, my feet were not having any. Those heels, oh my God.
Those epic scenes when they're bringing so much of the cast together all at the same time. Tell us a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes. For example, that the fact that you are in the same outfit and the dress is walking around on its own. What else goes into those?
Those kinds of scenes are so much fun because you get to see everybody that you don't really get to see every day because we're so kind of isolated. We see people in the hair and makeup room, but specifically the 50th anniversary was incredible because we got to see Trisha Cast, Ronnie Red, Barbara Crampton, Trisha Cast, Michael Damian. We got to see people we haven't seen in so long, and that was incredible. And to be able to be with them for that many days, it was just a dream come true.
I want to thank you so much for the years of joy you brought to so many millions of people playing Lauren Fenmore, and to me especially. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. I appreciate you.
You know, my family's in Toronto, so to all my family.
A shout out to the family. I didn't know that. I knew you auditioned for Sammy Joe, but I didn't know your family was here.
Right. Yeah. No, my mother was born in Toronto, and so all her side, all the cousins are all in Toronto.
Oh, how interesting. Well, I wish you all the best. And again, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. It was great, Tracey. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Wonderful. I got to go
Take care.
learn now.
Thanks for everything, Shaun.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.